two parts to this. Spell and use the word outstanding. Emily.
O-U-T-S-T-A-N-D-I-N-G. She did outstanding work on her math test.
Very good, for 10 points. Next one is a musical question. Let's listen in and I'll ask you the question. Is that the correct song? We have the incorrect song up there. So we're going to just dump out of the audio question and move on to the next one, because that's not what it says here. So we move on for 10 points. Here's the next one. The Bering Strait represents... Oliver.
USA and USSR.
Cannot accept for Whitman. The Bering Strait represents which two large continents? The Bering Strait separates which two large continents? Jason.
North America and Europe.
Cannot accept. Asia. What did I say? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. It separates North America from Asia. Europe's way on the other side. All right. Let's move along for the next 10-point question. There are at least 4 different kinds of fossil fuels. Can you name one? Chris.
Natural gas.
Natural gas is correct. 410. Coal, oil, gas, and petroleum were actually once green things and dinosaurs, and now we put them in our tank, I think, to run our cars. For 10 points, the Yucatan Peninsula is located in which country? Time's up. In the country of Mexico, on the Caribbean. Multiple choice, I'll give you 3 choices. Which of these instruments would not belong to the brass group? A trombone, a saxophone, and a cello. Oliver.
Cello.
The cello is a string instrument. 410, in which country did the game of volleyball originate? Emily?
America?
The United States is accepted by the judge. For 10 points, in the U.S. and Canada, which holiday honors the working people? Oliver.
Labor Day.
Labor Day. Interestingly enough, Oliver, nobody works on Labor Day. We move along for 10 points. Tweedledee and Tweedledum were characters in what? Marcy.
Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland. For 10. Geography. What is the capital city of Egypt? Chris. Time's up. Whitman. Marcy.
Cairo.
Cairo, the capital city of Egypt. That is the end of the audio round. Now we move to the valuable 20-point video questions. Right now the score is Jefferson leading with 70 and Whitman is at 30. Again, reminding you, watch your monitors. You watch at home. I'll show the contestants the video, wait 3 seconds, and then ask the question. You can't anticipate my question, but you know you can win big or lose depending on how the question was written. First video question for 20 is before you.
Where we've had a
2 parts.
game like we have now, and we're bigger on defense.
Give me 2 parts, Oliver.
John Elway and the Denver Broncos.
Denver Broncos for 20. Next video question, watch. Haven't read the question, Oliver.
Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Is correct for 20 points. This one's from the world of arts.
Time sharpens.
Haven't read the question, Marcy.
Phantom of the Opera.
Phantom of the Opera. In Los Angeles, you can see Robert Guillaume performing The Phantom. All right, for 20 points. Here's the next video one, watch. These are the name of cities in what country? Oliver.
Mexico.
Mexico. And I think you can go fishing in all 3 of them. All right. We move along from current events. Watch. Okay. What local city wants to adopt Chris?
Big Bear, California.
Big Bear Lake, California. They found that little bear. They named it Coco the Bear, and they want to keep it as a mascot of the city. All right, for this one's a multiple choice. Question is, which of these figures displays a cord? Oliver.
D.
D is correct. Next video question is before you.
David Christie! Well saved, Christie!
This gentleman won an Oscar for Best Actor. Give me his name. Chris.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Very good for 20 points. The film was called My Left Foot. All right, we move along for 20. Here's the next video. Listen carefully. This sentence uses a proper adjective with a common noun. Which word should not be capitalized? Kathy.
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti is correct for 20. Next one is from Current Affairs in the news. Let's watch. Haven't read the question, Chris.
Hubble Space Telescope.
The Hubble. Didn't read the question. I didn't even see the video, you know. But that is the latest telescope which has been put into Earth orbit and should be able to revolutionize deep space astronomy, the Hubble telescope. We move along for 20. Here's the next one. The quote, "Give me liberty or give me death." Oliver.
Patrick Henry.
Patrick Henry. Urging a revolt from the American colonists against England. All right, for 20 points, here's the next video. The lowest point in the Western Hemisphere. Emily.
Death Valley.
Death Valley, California. That's the end of the video round. Now we move to the valuable bonus question. In the bonus question, I ask you 3 questions. First clue is like this, second clue is tighter, and the third clue pretty well gives it away. For 50 points, 30 points, or 20 points, you can buzz in at any time, but only team captains may buzz in. Team players, put your hands to the side. You may confer with each other before you answer, and for 50 points, here is the first clue. We're looking for the only New England state that does not have a sea coastline. And Oliver was first.
Vermont.
Vermont is correct for 50. Vermont does not have a coastline. We'll be back with the second half of Kid Quiz after this message. Don't go away. We're back. Thank you very much. We have a quarterfinal game going here. We're doing well now. We want to thank our first round players for joining us and ask them to please take their seats. Kind of feels short here. They're all taller than me. Before we begin the second round, I want to show you the 16 schools that are participating in this season of Kid Quiz. They're all Southern California schools, and there you see how we've eliminated down to the quarterfinals, and whoever wins in today's game moves on to the semifinals and then in the championship. So we're far along in our season here. We hope you'll keep watching. We'll get to the championship game very soon. So far, we want to welcome back Marcy from Whitman. She's the team captain, and she's got 2 new second-round players. Marcy?
To my right is Chang Zhou. To my left is Michael Shea.
Chang and Michael. Nice round of applause for them. Oliver, team captain from Jefferson in the city of Burbank. We want to welcome you back and introduce us to our second rounders.
To my right is Mark Dosh, and to my left is Kristen Jordan.
Mark and Kristen. So we begin our second half of the game, and as always in the second half, we begin our special question. In conjunction with Channel 2's year-long campaign to protect our planet, here's the special question. A multiple choice. The greenhouse effect on Earth is caused by too much of what in the air? Michael.
A.
A, carbon dioxide is correct. Now, chlorofluorocarbons is another major element, but all of those things that we throw up there on a daily basis are become a problem. We move for 10 points on, reminding team players to put your hands flat on the white pallet and go for the buzzer, and do not answer till I call your name. For 10 points, give me the name of the book used in class that lists its contents in alphabetical order? Mark.
Dictionary.
The dictionary is one. What initials are used to refer to the emergency life-saving procedure known as cardiopulmonary? Oliver.
CPR.
CPR. Cardiopulmonary resuscitation. For 10 points, the disease known as pneumonia will cause an inflammation in which part of our respiratory? Marcy.
Bronchial tubes. Lungs.
The judge has had mixed emotions on that and will not accept. All right. Move back to Jefferson. The disease known as pneumonia will cause inflammation in which part of our respiratory system? Oliver?
Lungs.
The lungs is more specific. For 10 points, how many degrees in a straight angle? Oliver?
180.
180. Here's a musical question. Let's listen. I'll ask you the question. Haven't read the question. Mark.
Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny. It's the song that introduces what 50-year-old rabbit? Bugs Bunny. All right. He's 50. It's hard to believe. Doesn't look like a day over 30, wouldn't you say? For 10 points, here's the next question. Guinevere, Lancelot, and Merlin are all characters. Marcy.
England.
Incorrect. Jefferson. Guinevere, Lancelot, and Merlin are all characters in what famous story? Mark. Is Mark in? Mark, too late. Sorry, the buzzer hits you out. King Arthur. Knights of the Round Table, Merlin, oh Merlin, you know, what do I do, you know? All right, you'll now know that, right? For 10 points from math. If you were to walk the perimeter of a 1 square mile, how many miles? Mark.
4.
4 miles he walked. 10 points. What do you lose if you suffer from amnesia? Mark.
Memory.
Your memory. Two-parter. Need 2 answers. Which 2 gentlemen led the exploration of the American Northwest? Oliver.
Lewis and Clark.
Lewis and Clark. That was after the Louisiana Purchase. There's lots of territory. We didn't know what was on it, so Lewis and Clark went looking. For 10 points, in checking directions, if you are facing south, which direction is to your right? Oliver.
West.
The west. Go west, young man. Correct for 10. Which of our U.S. states once belonged to Russia? Oliver.
Alaska.
Alaska. Very good. How many amendments to the Constitution? I haven't finished, but Mark buzzed in.
22.
Incorrect for Whitman. How many amendments to the Constitution are contained in the Bill of Rights?
10.
Tang.
10.
10. Bill of Rights. For 10 points. What is the name of the first explorer to sail completely around? Mark.
Magellan.
Ferdinand Magellan, circumnavigate the globe. Is correct. That's the end of the audio round. Now we move to the final video questions. 20 points here. Hands flat on the white palette and go for the buzzer. I'll show you the video, wait 3 seconds, and then ask you the question. You can win or lose depending on how the question's written. First video question, watch.
You'll realize that kind of your name goes down in history, and it's just really amazing.
She is from Southern California, and this 3-time gold medal winner in the Olympics will be training. I haven't finished the question, Michael.
Janet Evans.
Janet Evans. Let me get the question out there, Michael. The 3-time gold medal Olympic swimmer. She's training for the '92 Olympics, and she's from Placentia, California. Janet Evans, we wish her well in the new Olympics. The next one is 2 parts. Spell and use. Marcy.
Friend. F-R-I-E-N-D.
Okay. For Mark, the question was spell and use.
F-R-I-E-N-D. I have many friends.
Cannot accept because you used plural and it was singular. Friend. I have only one friend. There's one. All right, we move along. For 20 points, watch your video. The Great Barrier Reef is located off the coast. Marcy.
Australia.
Of Australia is correct for 20. Next 20 points, video question. What do we call the distance measured around a circle? Marcy.
Circumference.
The circumference is correct for 20. For 20 points, here's the next video. In 1961, Yuri Gagarin became the first human to travel in space. From what country is he? Oliver.
USSR.
Russia is correct for 20. USSR. 20-point video question. Watch your monitors. Here it is. From literature, Franklin Dixon has written a series of books about two young detectives. Mark.
Hardy Boys.
The Hardy Boys is correct for 20. From current events, watch your monitors for 20. Queen Elizabeth of England lives in what palace? Oliver.
Buckingham Palace.
Buckingham Palace is correct. Watch your monitors. Here's the next video question. Haven't read it, Mark.
Indiana.
Indiana is correct. Names of U.S. cities in what U.S. state? Indiana. Gary, Indiana. There's a song, Gary, Indiana. Haven't read the question. Mark.
Oliver North.
Ollie North. The question was, he was found guilty of 3 criminal charges stemming from the Iran-Contra affair. Colonel Oliver North of the Marines. We move along for the next 20-point video. Haven't read it, Mark.
Declaration of Independence.
Incorrect for Whitman. The question is, what are the first 3 words to the preamble of the U.S. Constitution? Michael.
We the people.
We the people. Next for 20, here's the video question. What is the name of the fleece? Marcy.
Wool.
Wool is correct for 20 points. Got to be a little bit more louder there, Marcy. It was hard hearing you from this distance. We move along for 20 points. Watch. He's the first black American to hold the nation's highest military post. Oliver.
Powell.
Powell is correct. General Colin Powell. He is the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Very good. We move along for 20 points.
Everett, up top.
What is the total length in yards of American football? Mark.
100.
100 yards. Video question for 20. Watch. Which of these is not reduced? Mark.
C.
C. 6/8 is correct. It can be 3/4. Video question for 20. Watch. Haven't read it, Marcy.
Fossils.
Fossils is correct for 20 points. These are the remains of animals that lived long ago. Fossils is correct. We now move to the final bonus question. First clue is worth 70. Second clue is worth 50. Third clue is worth 30. Let's see who can get this. Whitman, it's your decision to go for it when you think you've got it. Team captains may only buzz in. Team players, put your hands aside. Here, if you answer incorrectly, you're out of the round. The other team gets to answer at whatever clue level they desire. For 70 points, this small island nation is located northwest of mainland Europe. Which country? Marcy.
Iceland.
Iceland is incorrect. Jefferson, do you want to go to the second clue? Second clue, the highest point in this country is the Karantuhil in the McGillicuddy's Reeks. Can you name this country? Oliver.
Ireland.
Ireland, the Emerald Isles. For the bonus and the game, we'll be back with the conclusion of our game after this message. Don't go too far away. Back. We're back with the conclusion of our game. The final bonus question was the island of Ireland. It's called the Emerald Isle because it rains just about every day. We want to thank our friends from Whitman. We thank them for a good game. Tell them hi from all of us down in Cerritos for me, okay? Thank you very much. Well, we congratulate Jefferson Elementary from Burbank. They move on to the semifinal round. Thank you for joining us, and join us again soon on Kid Quiz. So long.
What did Frosty say to the French fry? Chill out, Spud! How do you get a...
And now, Southern California's Emmy Award-winning game show, where schools match skills and wits. Kid Quiz. And here, to introduce today's participating schools is your host, Maclovio Perez.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, this is going to be a good one today, folks. This is a semifinal round, and whoever wins today's game moves to the championship. So it's going to be a good game. We've got veteran teams here that have survived several rounds, and we have, better than all that, great cheering squads today. So let me welcome back to our game from Yorba Linda Middle School. We have team captain Corey Griffin. Corey, welcome back, and please introduce us to your first round players.
To my right is Jacqueline Blankenship, and to my left is Joy Lambert.
Jacqueline and Joy. Yes. And returning from Burbank, Jefferson Elementary in Burbank, we have team captain Oliver Lau. Oliver, welcome back. Please introduce us to your first rounders.
To my left is Chris Krogan, and to my right is Emily Rohr.
Chris and Emily. We're getting very serious in our season here. These are going to be tough and fast games. Before we start, I want to ask Jack, our announcer, to tell us about the prizes that the winning school will win at the end of this season of Kid Quiz. Here's Jack.
This year, our second-place school will receive Merriam-Webster's new International Unabridged Dictionary with a beautiful hardwood table. Panasonic's Easy Programming Barcode VCR. The four-head unit lets you set time, date, and channel with the use of a barcode scanner from Panasonic. The winning school will receive the superbly illustrated 22-volume New Book of Knowledge Encyclopedia. Accurate and up-to-date information from Grolier. The Macintosh personal computer from Apple Computer. Macintosh, a computer that provides the power to be your best. The winning school will also take home this 1990 Spring Championship Trophy.
We're about ready to go. First, let me tell you that Arlene Nakamura is our offstage judge, and for the team players, if you're incorrect, she's going to give you one. If you're correct, she's going to give you one of those, and if you're incorrect, she'll give you one of these, and hopefully we won't have too many of those. Guys, you ready? Hands flat on the white palette, knuckles on the white palette. We're ready to go for 10 points. First question is, what kind of animals would you find in a dairy? Emily.
Cows.
Cows is correct. A dairy farm. For 10 points, in a book, where would you look to find the number of chapters it contains? Oliver.
Table of contents.
Table of contents is right for 10. From sports, what is the name given to the skill of bouncing the basketball? Oliver.
Dribbling.
Dribbling. That's as opposed to drinking something and getting it all over you. That's also dribbling, but we move along for 10 points. In December of 1989, President Bush held a summit meeting with Gorbachev on what tiny Mediterranean island nation? Joy.
Iceland?
Iceland is incorrect. Anyone at Jefferson? Chris. Incorrect. It was Malta. Malta. A summit on Malta. Next is musical. Let's listen in, and then I'll ask you the question. The Beautiful Danube is written by Johann Strauss. It's a composition of what kind of dance? Joy.
Waltz.
A waltz. And they do play him on MTV, right? Johann Strauss? I don't think so. From math, Chris reads for 3.5 hours on weekends, but Ed reads for 5 hours on weekends. How much longer does Ed? Emily.
2 hours.
Incorrect. You're Belinda. How much longer does Ed read each weekend? Joy.
An hour and a half.
Hour and a half is correct for 10. Very good. Next one, 2 parts, need 2 answers. Name 2 continents in the Western Hemisphere. Jacqueline.
North America and South America.
Correct. Very good. Very good. All right, for 10 points, we move along to the next question. The Grand Ole Opry is famous for what type of music? Jacqueline.
Country music.
Country music, absolutely. Country westerns. All right, for 10 points. From Greek mythology, give me the name of the girl who opened a box. Corey.
Pandora.
Pandora's box. And it was not a good box. She found a lot of evil things in there. For 10 points, the next one. The quote, I cannot tell a lie. Haven't finished, but Oliver buzzed in. George Washington is credited. He is reportedly to have said that. It was written in a biography by Mason Weems. So we believe, tradition holds that George said those words. Next, for 10 points, which mark of punctuation ends a declarative? Emily.
Period.
The period is a declarative. What type of animal is a Doberman Pinscher? Chris.
Dog.
A dog. Can you... Ooh, that's the end of the audio round. Now we move to the very valuable 20-point video questions. Tight game. Jefferson is at 60, your Belinda is at 50. These are now worth 20 points, and I want to remind the team players, hands flat on the white palette. I will show you the video, wait 3 seconds, and then ask you the question. You can anticipate the question, but you can win or lose depending on how the question is written. For 20 points, this is 2 parts. Watch the video. Give me the name of the instrument and the group. Emily.
The violin and the strings.
Stringed instruments is correct for 20. For the next video question, 3 parts. Haven't read it, Chris.
Alaska, Hawaii, and California.
Correct for 20 points. I don't know, I'm not sure you knew the question, but you got the answer there. Give me the name of 3 of the 5 states which border on the Pacific was the question. Alaska, Hawaii, California is good. All right, ready? Here is the next video question. Watch. What type of gas is normally used? Oliver.
Neon.
Neon gas for lighting. For 20 points, here's the next video question. The question is, if you were dividing this square into triangles, what is the least number of triangles you could get? Oliver.
2.
2 triangles is correct. Next one from Current Affairs. Watch. Haven't read the question. Oliver.
Castro.
Fidel Castro for 20. He's been the leader of Cuba since 1959. For 20, here's a video question. Haven't read it. Corey.
Vulture.
Incorrect. The question for Jefferson is, this endangered species is the largest bird of prey in America. Emily.
California condor.
The condor. The condor. All right, watch carefully. This you might see around for 20 points. The blue dot on the road indicates that what is nearby? Corey.
Fire hydrant.
The fire hydrant is correct for 20 points. Next one is multiple choice from biology. Watch. Haven't read the question. Corey.
Eardrum.
The eardrum is correct for 20 points. It's the membrane that separates the inner ear from the middle ear. The next question for 20 from sports.
You hit the two balls, one with a slice and one with a hook, and make them collide in midair. That's my favorite shot.
Golf is his game. What is his name? No, it's not Paula Abdul. Chichi Rodriguez. He's a little older than you guys, but one of the best golfers around and still out there playing in the Masters and the Senior Games. For 20 points, here is the question. I haven't read it, Oliver.
Franklin.
Accepted by the judge, Ben Franklin. The saying appeared in Poor Richard's Almanac, written by Benjamin Franklin, early to bed, early